Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Jazakumullahu khairan. We are at lesson 7 today, and in 13 minutes, inshallah, at 7:43, we're going to break up for Salah, and then about 15 minutes later, we'll continue, inshallah. Right, so let's start. So this was the homework. Complete the past tense verbs table, verb table, for the following root verbs. So what we had to do is get khalaqa, which means he created, and put it in the table. So khalaqa, khalaqu, khalaqta, khalaqtum, khalaqti, khalaqtu, and khalaqna. Right, so all we did is we used the previous table that we did, kataba, katabu, that one, and we just, instead of kataba, we substitute it with khalaqa, another three-letter root word. So khalaqu, remember kafara, kafaru, yeah, like that. And then khalaqta, khalaqti is you created, male. Khalaqti, you created, talking to a female. Khalaqtum, the khalaqtu, the tu means I did it, and khalaqna means we did it. Okay, so it was just a matter of putting the letters khalaqa into the table, substituting the table with khalaqa. So taking kataba out and putting khalaqa. And that's what you can do with this table. You can put many root words, most root words, in the table, and you'll automatically put the endings the same, and you'll be able to make new words. The same for ja'ala. So ja'ala, ja'alu, and then masculine, ja'alta, so feminine, ja'alti, all of you, ja'altum, and then I made, ja'altu, we made, ja'alna. Again, so it's just designed to give you practice in writing. When you write it, not practice of just writing, the skill of writing, but when you write it, you remember it. People even used to hifz the Quran like that, and they even do it now. They will write the verse and it commits to memory. It's easier to memorize. So again, kafara, all we're doing is getting that kataba table, taking the kataba out and putting kafara in there. So kafara, kafaru, kafarta, kafarti, kafartum, kafartu, kafarna. So those verbs I gave you in the vocabulary, you should be able to put most of them in this table, no problem. What we're going to cover today is the problem. There's a slight problem with some verses, with some verbs, which we'll cover right today, inshallah. So this was the table for kafara. Learn the past tense verbs table. So this was the verb table you have to learn. And you have to commit this to memory. If you don't know it now, you've got to go back and learn this. Because today is based on this table as well. Today's lesson is based on this table. Right. We've got 10 minutes left, inshallah. So let's go with this. Khalaqa yakhluqu. What is khalaqa yakhluqu? Type. Excellent. So this one is he created. This one is he creates. This is past tense. This is present tense. So that's fine. To create. That's fine. That's the verb to create. We know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is khaliq. Al-khaliq. Khaliq is, yeah, al-khaliq. Right. So khaliq is, it's got something to do with khalaqa. Next one. Ja'ala yaj'alu. Ja'ala yaj'alu. Make. Okay, make. Yeah, not together, not together. That's jama'a or jami'un. Ja'ala means to make. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels that I'm going to make a khalifa on the earth. So make, okay? It's in the Quran. And 346 times, these numbers are the amount of times this verb comes. It may come in, khaliq, it might come in a different, derivative in the past tense, in the present tense, etc. But that word 261 times. 346 for ja'ala. Okay, so when I say 346, it doesn't mean the word literal, the exact ja'ala will come 346 times. It means that a verb that has ja'ala inside it comes. So it might be ja'alna, for example, ja'ilun, like that sort of thing. Dakhala yadkhulu. Dakhala yadkhulu. This is an Urdu word as well. For those who know Urdu, they can relate to it. Excellent. To enter. To enter. 126. Kharaja. Kharaja. And again, another Urdu word. To exit. And when we do tajweed, we say makhraj. Makhraj is a place of exiting where the sound comes from. Kharaja. So do them both mean the same? Kharaja means he left. Yeah, he left. And yakhruju means he leaves. So he left and he leaves. There's a reason why I've put the present tense with the past tense. When you learn Arabic verbs, they advise you to learn the past tense and also the present tense for a reason which you'll inshallah maybe learn next week. Alima ya'lamu. Alima ya'lamu. Something to do with ilm, knowledge. Alim comes from there. Ma'lum comes from there. Ulama comes from there. To know. 854. Look at that. Amila. Amila. Ya'malu. يعملون يعلمون. What's يعملون? يعمل mean? Okay, excellent. You've written it 360 times, yeah? To work, to do. سمع يسمع. سمع الله لمن حمده. سمع. سمع. Okay, good. Not listen. Not listen. To hear. Yeah? Listen is another word. Listen is istama'a. Right, so sami'a means to hear. 185. قتل يقتل. قتل يقتل. Urdu word as well. قتل يقتل. Excellent, excellent. Excellent. To kill. 170. ظلم يظلم. ظلم يظلم. Again, another Urdu word. Excellent. Excellent. 315. That's where we get zalim from, madloom from. Jama'a yajma'u. So remember we did jami'un, jami'an, ajma'in. Yeah? Jama'a is the root word. To gather. Yeah, to gather. So he gathered, he gathers. And generally the whole thing is the verb for to gather. فعل يفعل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم ترى كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل. To do. To make, to do. 108. كذب يكذب. كذب يكذب. Excellent. To lie. Right, fantastic. If you don't know those words, these are root words and the most important ones. Meaning from there you get all sorts of other words. Look at the numbers. Yeah. If you don't know the root word, you might know a pattern, but because you don't know the root word meaning, you won't know what the word means. So root words are the main words where everything comes from, mostly. Right. A few minutes left. So the test. Kataba is just remembering, it's just learning the table. Right. So kataba means he wrote. Katabtum, you all wrote. Katabu, they all wrote. Katabtu, the tu, remember the tu means I wrote. Katabta, you're talking to a male, you wrote. Katabti, you're talking to a woman, female, you wrote. And katabna is we all wrote, plural. And the more you practice after the course as well, inshallah, the more you practice, the more you will. When you open the Quran, you're reading the word to words and it says, okay, and you recognize the word. It takes some time. You'll have to sit down and slowly look at the words and study, and you might even know the whole half the sentence. You might know the line, but you need to sort of analyze it and say, yes, we've done this one. Yes, we've done this one. Yes, I should know that one. Yes, I figured it out. Right? And you keep on doing that and it gets better and better. So this is what it's for. This is the Quran. وَذَكَرَ. وَذَكَرَ means and he remembered. This is the root word. وَذَكَرَ. ذَكَرَ is a root word. This is where you get dhakir from. This is where you get dhikr from. This is where you get madhkur, I think even that is word. Dhakir. I'm just thinking of some other ones that we know. Anyway, okay, so dhakara. Dhakara means to remember. So in a sentence, he remembered. Wa dhakara, and he remembered Allah. And he remembered Allah. Kathiran. Remember kathiran, lesson 1 vocabulary, I think, or lesson 2. Kathiran means a lot. That's where the name dhakir comes from. That's right. Dhakir is the one who does remembering. So dhakir literally means rememberer, the one who remembers. Yep. Right, next one. وَجَعَلُوا. We see the word ja'ala in there. Can you see ja'ala? Something to do with making. And then we remember when we put the waw at the end and the alif, it makes it they all made. So, and they all made lillahi, unto Allah, shuraka, partners. Shirk, you know shirk? Shirk is partners. Shuraka, partners, okay? Plural. So, and they all made unto Allah shuraka, partners. And the last one, inni, surely I. Inna means indeed, and the ya makes it me. And when you put the ya on, the noon becomes, I guess, a kasra on it. Inni, indeed I. Amantu. Now you have to know what amana means. And amana means to believe. Amana rasulu bima unzila. Yeah, amana. Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi. Right, so amantu, it means I believed. Okay, so to believe, and then tu means I did it. So surely I believed bi rabbikum, in Lord your alls, in your alls, Lord. Is the last one from the Quran? They're all in the Quran, as far as I know. These are all in the Quran, inshallah. You should find them in the last week's verses, the verses section at the end. Okay, I think we are done for now. And we will, inshallah, after Maghrib, we'll have about 15-minute break, maybe back at about 8 o'clock, inshallah. And then we'll start the lesson, inshallah. Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Right, let's start lesson 7. So we've done the homework, we've done the tests, answers, and now we start, inshallah. Okay, so today's lesson is again on verbs. We're going to spend the next majority of all the rest of the lessons on verbs, inshallah. Right, excellent. So verbs are of 2 types in Arabic. There's verbs known as regular verbs, and there's another set of verbs known as irregular verbs, right? Also called weak verbs or hollow verbs, right? Choose whichever one you like, right? So the book called them irregular, so I'm going to just stay with irregular. So this is the definition of an irregular verb. I'll tell you what that means after, inshallah. But for now, you need to be able to know and identify what is an irregular verb, what is a weak verb or hollow verb, okay? So if one of the root letters has a weak letter, and weak letters in Arabic are alif, waw, or ya, right? These are the mad letters as well, mad letters. These are weak letters in Arabic, okay? Weak letters. So qala is a weak verb, irregular verb. Kana is an irregular verb. Wajada is an irregular verb. So can anyone tell me why is qala irregular or weak? I might just call it weak, it's easier, but okay. Why is it irregular? Why is it weak? Qala. Because it has an alif there. Right, okay. For now, that answer is acceptable. Kana, there's an alif. Wajada, there's a waw. Right? Fantastic. So when you see one of these verbs and it has an alif, waw, or ya as one of the root letters, then that verb is irregular or weak. Okay? Happy with that so far? Yeah, happy? I assume nobody's typing, so you must be happy. Right, yes, okay. Right, excellent, good. So that's one way you can tell a verb is weak. It's the most common way. But there's also another way. If the second and the third root letter are the same. So, dalla is basically dad, lam, and another lam. But you just join both the lams and put a shad on it, right? So that shad means two lams. Dal and la. Dalla. So dalla is also an irregular verb, a weak verb. So dalleen is that one. Yeah, well, dalleen. That is an irregular verb. It's a weak verb. When the second and third root letters are the same, inshallah, I think this is in the test. Right? So these are two ways to identify if a verb is weak. There's not many verbs like this. Most of the weak verbs are in this form with the alif, waw, or ya between them. Anywhere in them, one of the letters, right? Can anybody guess what is a regular verb then? What is a regular verb? Fantastic. You done it before? Yeah, good. That's right. Good. Yeah, it's just obvious as well. And yes, exactly. That's correct. Yes. Yes. So anything else is a regular verb. So ja'ala is regular because there is no alif, waw, ya in there. Same with this one. Same with this one. And also the second and the third letter are not the same in all three. Right? So most verbs are regular. Most verbs are regular. And it's just some verbs that are irregular. Okay, we happy with that? You might be wondering, why am I telling you that? But happy so far? Good, right. I think today's a small lesson anyway, inshallah. It's not a big lesson, right? It's based on last week's table as well. Right, okay, so why am I teaching you that? Because the table that you learned last week is this one. This table is a table for regular verbs. Regular verbs, it's a generic table. You can get all regular verbs that are three-lettered, yeah, all the ones we've done that are not weak, right? You can put them in here and you can easily put it in. Look, ja'ala, let's do ja'ala. Ja'ala, ja'alu, ja'alta, ja'alti, ja'altu, ja'altum, ja'alna. Kafara, kafaru, kafarta, kafarti, kafartu, right? You can put regular verbs in, no problem. Right? This table, you can put many regular verbs in. They just slot in. You just get the kataba, replace it with khalaqa, or replace it with, sami'a, for example, right? What happens with an irregular verb is it doesn't quite fit in this table. There's the same table for irregular verbs, but you have to make some adjustment. Okay, so a regular verb, regular, will fit into this table, no problem. I give you 3 letters and you should be able to put them in there and do all the conjugations, right? If I give you an irregular verb, there could be some problem. There could be some problem somewhere, right? There may be some irregular verbs that don't change in certain, there may be some that are unaffected, maybe, or mostly unaffected, but you're going to have some sort of problem somewhere, generally, okay, with an irregular verb, right? As we're going to see, inshallah. So what the book did is the book chose 2 irregular verbs that occur in the Quran a lot. One of them is this one here. Qala means to say, and the other one, kana, means to be, right? To be, he was, they all were, etc. Right? So it's going to we're going to concentrate on qala and kana, and I'm going to show you the effect of it being irregular. So if you've got your books open, please just look at this slide now, this one here, this table, and cover the one underneath it up, yeah, because it's going to have all the answers on, right? I want you to tell me what's going to go in each one, right? And there will be a problem along the way, right? So that's what I want to show you, okay? Right. We're going to put qala in this table. So look at this table, either on your iPads, on your notes, whatever. If you can concentrate on that one, or if it's printed, just look at this table, yeah, because you're going to use this table to fill in for qala, right? So let's try. The first one I'll do for you, inshallah. Qala. Qala means he said. It's a root word. It's the word that you use. What really happens, qala is really qaf, waw, lam. Yeah? Qala is really qaf, waw, and lam. The root letters of qala are qaf, waw, and lam. So already something has happened and it's qala. It's become qala, right? Bit confusing? Yeah, it's a weak verb. So it's going to be a bit of a problem. There's going to be a bit of a problem, right? So qala is actually the way to say he said, right? So kataba would normally be there, kataba. And this will become katabu, right? So what does qala become? Qala, you normally have to put a waw and an alif on, right? You normally have to put a waw and an alif on. But let's see if it fits in the regular table, in the normal table. Kataba becomes katabu, so qala becomes, have a guess. Good. Qalu, right? So kataba, katabu, qala, qalu. So far it's fine. It will fit. Yeah, the endings have to be the same. The endings have to be the same as the other table. The table is the same, but you're going to have to make some adjustment to the word qala, otherwise it's not going to work, right? But the adjustment happens at the front, not at the end. The endings are all the same. The red, you see these endings? These are going to stay the same. The red endings are going to stay the same for irregular verbs. You're going to have to make some adjustments sometimes at the beginning, right? So qala becomes qalu. So far, no adjustments. Qala, qalu. It was kataba, katabu. So you add the waw and it all fits, it all works, okay? Qala, qalu. So far we're good. Okay, now let's do this one. This one would have been katabta. You got to put a ta at the end, right? Katabta. The ta has to come at the end. But how are you going to do it? Have a guess. What is it going to be? This one. Kataba, katabu, katabta. Okay. Qalta. Somebody said qalta. Okay, carry on. That's wrong, but it's a good guess. Qalata. Again, yeah? It's wrong, but it's a good guess. Somebody's got it properly, right? But okay. Qalta, right? So can you see something? Have you ever read a qalata in the Quran? Have you read qalata? Have you read it anywhere in the Quran? Qalata. Yeah? No. Okay, so that's an indication that your answer is wrong, but it's good. And that's what I want to show you. With the irregular verb, you can't just write qala, qalata, qalati, qalatu. You can't do that. Somewhere or another, there has to be an adjustment made, right? Because irregular, so you have to make an adjustment. It doesn't just fit and slot in like normal. So for this verb, over here, it's going to be qulta. Okay, the ta remains. You can't change the endings because the endings still count from the previous table here. These red ones, these red endings, they count. You can't change them because you're just putting that weak verb in this same table, but you're not going to be able to say the starting part easily. You have to make some adjustment, okay? And each weak verb has its own adjustment. So we're going to just do qala and kana because they come in the Quran a lot, right? So the answer is qulta. The ta remains, but what we've done, we've put a dhamma on the qaf and a sukoon on the lam. Qulta. Can you see how it's changed? But that would have normally been kataba, katabu, katabta. But we can't say qalata. No. For this verb, it becomes qulta. Right? So that's why we have it's a weak verb. That's the problem we have with weak verbs. We have to make, they don't slot into the table like normal. We have to make some adjustment somewhere. Right? Are we happy with that? We have to make some adjustment. That's the effect of a weak verb. The beginning changes. Right? So it's not going to be qalata, it's going to be qulta. Now we might have heard qulta in the Quran somewhere. Yeah? It is in the Quran, by the way. Yeah. Qultatum. Oh, you're doing the next one. Okay, you're doing the next one, right? Fantastic. Now you've got that adjustment, you maybe can do the rest now, no problem. Qulta, that's the adjustment made to the verb qala. So the next one is qultum. Exactly. Right? You've found out what the adjustment needed to be made for this weak verb. And different weak verbs have different adjustments. But for this verb, the adjustment is you have to put a dhamma on the qaf and a sukoon on the lam, and then the endings all fit. So qulta is fine. Qultum, you all said. What's this one? Now you should know because you've got the formula. What was this one going to be? Fantastic. More people? Yeah, good. See this recording. I'm just checking if it's recording. I'll put it on to record. Yeah. Right. Qulti. Right. Qulti. Exactly. So qala, qalu, that followed the normal template. Over here, you had to change it. It becomes qulta. Now you can do it all. Qulta, qultum, qulti. How do I say I said? Exactly. The rest is all the same. Qultu, how do I say we all said? Qulna. Exactly. Right? That's pretty much not it, but that's something. So does everybody understand that? Does everybody understand what's going on and what is the implication of a weak verb? How do you know we've changed it to the right word? Yeah, how do you know you've changed it to the right word? You have to know it for each verb. For each weak verb, you have to know the adjustment. And they're not very common. So in this course, we just concentrate on two verbs that are common in the Quran. They come quite a bit in the Quran. This one comes quite a bit in the Quran, right? Let me just see the numbers. Here are the numbers. You're talking about 528 times. This one comes qala, right? Just qala by itself. Qalu 332. Qultum, qulna. Yeah. And then this one about 7 times, all of these included, right? So the main ones, if you want to just concentrate on the main ones, it's qala and qalu. Qala, he said. Qalu, they all said. Yes, qulna, you have to remember that, yeah? Qulna, yeah. How do you say in a plural for qul? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you here because that is level 2, right? Yeah. قلتن then, right? But don't worry, I'm just asking, I'm just mentioning it because somebody's asking. How do we know we've changed it to the right word? Yep, you have to just know it for that verb. How do we know we've changed the right verb? Right. Right. So are we happy with that? Are we happy with the fact that we know what a weak verb is, when we can identify what a weak verb is? And then we know that a weak verb is going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem fitting it into that table exactly. We just need to make some adjustment at the start somewhere. And you won't know what that adjustment is unless you've seen the table for that verb. Sometimes you can figure it out yourself. You can think in the Quran, well, oh yeah, actually this one, yeah. You can maybe figure it out yourself, but many times you need to know the adjustment, right? Don't worry about this too much because there's not many weak verbs, right, compared to regular verbs. Regular verbs are plenty. So make sure you know the table. The table is the same. The endings are the endings, right, are the part that you look. This one here. The endings are the same. The endings, these are the endings for the past tense verbs. With the irregular verb, it's not going to slot in at the start. At the start, you're going to have to make some adjustment somewhere along the line, right? Okay, so we've done this one, okay? You have to learn these words randomly. You're going to be tested on them. Some from this table, some from the next table. Will command tense also come up? That's level 2. Qala means he said, and not to say. Okay, does it say that in the workbook? Qala means, okay, no, qala and yaqulu means that it's the verb to say, right? But qala in a sentence literally means he said, yeah? So the root word literally means he said. But when I say qala yaqulu, that's like saying he said, he says, and it's the verb that means to say. That's why we say to say, to do, to walk, to play. We're just saying that verb means to walk, to play. But when you see qatala in a sentence, it means he killed. Yeah. So the command tense we do in level 2. Right. So now I just put it in different colors there for people who like that. Right. Now we're going to do kana. Kana is the second verb that we're going to do, the weak verb. Only 2 verbs we're going to do, 2 weak verbs. One was qala and one is kana. Kana means to. Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, this is wrong here. This should say to be. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I think that's what she was telling me. He's telling me. I think that the translation of the kana is yes. Oh, okay. No. Yes, all these are wrong. This is the first time I'm doing the course, and did to the best of my ability. Yeah, all these are wrong. Okay, so inshallah I'll correct these next time we're on this course, inshallah, in December, and they'll be right. All right, so I need to make a note of that, right? So all these should say he was, they were. Okay, well, I'll go over it inshallah. All right. Right, okay, so please adjust this one in your booklets to be. This one means to be. Right? Kana means to be. It's the verb to be. Literally in a sentence, it means he was. Right? So this one here is he was. Okay, so change that in your books to he was. Right? Okay, so how do we say they were? They were. So kataba became katabu. Now the thing with kana and qala is that they are both the same in terms of they both have an alif in the middle, right? So the pattern, the adjustment is likely to be the same as well, right? So kana becomes kanu. Kanu means they all were. Okay, they all were. Change all these rows, accordingly, right? So you don't say they all be because it's in the past, so they all were, right? They're still to be, right? So they all were. Okay, so think about what we did with qala here and see if you can figure out how do I say you were masculine. You were. How do I say that? What did we do with fantastic. What did we do with qala? We made it into qulta. So what do you think this one's going to be? Yep, you got it. Qulta. Fantastic. Kunta. This is going to be kunta. The other one was qulta, remember? So qala and kana are very similar, but you get some that aren't similar, like wajada, for example. That's different. That's got a wow at the start, right? So a different table for that. A different adjustment is needed for that, right? But anyway, kunta means you were. How do you say you all were? Now it should be easy, inshallah, because you've got the adjustment. Kun, you got to put kun at the start. Exactly. Kuntum, right? Kuntum, you all were. Next one, kunti. What is kunti? Oh, I've given the, I've given the Arabic away. You're supposed to be telling me. What's here? You were to a woman. What is it? Yeah, okay, right? Kunti. Right? It may be a bit hot. It might be because it's quite hot here today. Right, so I'm feeling a bit. Yeah, kunti is right. Yeah. Yeah, kunti means you wrote feminine. Yeah. And then how do I say I wrote? I wrote, not I wrote. Okay, kunti means you were feminine. How do I say I was? Exactly, kuntu, right? How do you say we were? How do you say we were? Yes. Okay, so this one's a bit different. This one was for qala, it was qulna. Now with kana, we've got a noon already. We've got the noon of kana. So kun and then na. Okay, somebody's putting qul qalna. Okay, I like it, right? Somebody put qalna, right? You're putting the na on, which is good, but yeah, okay, you're having a problem, right? So the problem, so here what we do, we just continue this pattern, kun pattern. Kunta, kunti, kuntu, kun and a na becomes kunna. So kunna means we all were. We all were. Okay, so this slide needs a major revamp. Inshallah, next time I run it, I will have this corrected, inshallah. Kunna, okay? So are we all happy with that? Are we all happy with that? These are the two tables you've got to learn this week. It's the same endings. You just need to learn the adjustment and job done. Happy so far, good, right? And look how many times, 421 times that Ghana appears. 269 Ganu appears. 199 Kuntum. These combined 55 and 79 times Kunna, right, roughly. So they come in lots of places, right? So you need to know you need to know the table for Qala and Kana. That's it. And if you learn last week's table well, you'll know the endings, inshallah. And now you just learn the adjustment here. It becomes kunta here, right? And qulta for Qala. And that's all the rest of it is done. So if you learned last week's table well, you pretty much nearly learned this week's table as well. So just these two tables we have to learn this week. And guess what the next slide is? Without looking, what could the next slide be? I'll tell you. Apart from this one, it's blue here, right? Does the beginning of the first and the second person always start with Dhamma? Yes, for Kana and Qala it does. Yeah, for Qala and Kana it does. But another weak verb, it may not. But only worry about Qala and Kana for now. That's it. Yeah. So yes, the first person and the second persons all begin with Dhamma. And the second letter is Sukoon. And then the endings are the endings that you already know. Yes? Happy to move on? Good. And that's all it is for this week. Yes? We're on the verses. So we might finish ahead of time today, inshallah. So that's it. That's all it was. So now look at your tables for Qala and Kana. Let's do these verses, right? So, excellent, right? So, Qala, what's Qala mean? Qala, have a look at your tables. And this is practice now, inshallah, right? Qala. Qala means he said. Good. He said, Hadha, lesson 1. This is, okay, or this, and in brackets is, okay? This is Rabbi. We've done Rabbi, my Lord. Okay? Hadha. This is Akbar. Akbar means great, so greater, yeah. Akbar means greater. Right? Now, I don't think we've done Akbar yet, but have we not done the rest of the verses? Qala, Hadha, Rabbi, Hadha. 1 second. Yeah. Yes, we've done the rest. Fantastic. Right? So we've done it. Now, let me just tell you, we've only done, how many lessons have we done? This is 7th lesson. 7 times 2, 14. Less than 14 hours we've done of Arabic, right? Less than 14 hours we've done of Arabic. We can translate, right, 4 of those words that occur there, right? And we've got the formulas. We've learned the formulas to translate parts of verses of the Quran already, right? I don't think there's any language that after 14 hours you can start translating. I mean, there might be, but it's not just the fact that it's Arabic. It's the fact that it's the Quran. Remember, I told you the Quran is easy. Yeah, mentioned in the Quran as well that the Quran is easy. There you go. Now you're seeing it. If I bring an Arabic newspaper to you and say, okay, translate, you're gonna have no idea, right? You'll see the words and say, yeah, I know that word, but the Quran is different. Quran, you can start understanding it. Like, it doesn't take a lot to start understanding it. Yes, you want to get to the finer points, you have to learn more and different things, but generally base things, you're learning the templates that you need. These tables are important and they teach you the templates, the attachments, the endings that you need to be able to understand, right? And that's what struck me when I started learning Arabic. I started learning self-study in my time when I was doing it. There was no courses, right? So self-study. And it struck me that, gosh, it's just these templates. Once you learn these templates and learn root words, you can start translating. You can start not translating, but you can start understanding what the Quran is saying in many places. Right? So I'm hoping you guys are seeing that. It takes practice. You're gonna have to practice and learn those tables again, but Qala is done. We've done it today. Hadha we've done. Rabbi, the ya makes it my. Rabb means Lord. Hadha we've done. Akbar is from Kabura. We know Kabir. Yeah, it's got something to do with Kabir, great. Right? So Akbar means greater. We've not done that pattern, and we don't do it in this course. Okay, here we go. Qala, Qala. We've done all these words. Qala, he said, right? Yeah, obviously, we've just done Qala today, so yeah, but it's there for you, right? Qala, he said. Ana, we've done Ana. I am. Yeah. Khayrun, khayrun, khayrun. Okay, better, right? Okay, good deeds, good. Like it might translate in places as good as well, but here, better. Minhu, minhu. We've done minhu. 2 words here, min and hu. Literally, if you saw minhu outside of the Quran, from him, right? From him. Now, if you understood, if you said, he said, I am better from him. If you just understood from him, that you know now it's gonna, doesn't make sense in English. It's going to be better than him, right? So I'm better than him. Where's the him there? Where's the he? The who. Excellent. The who. Excellent, right? So again, tell me, is that not something we've already done? Pretty much, yeah. Sometimes you have to, the word that you like learned, you might have to just, when you read the sentence, you might say, okay, over here, I know what's going on. You'll be able to figure it out, inshallah. Right? Next one. What is? Don't think we've done what is yet. So I'll tell you what is. And behold, okay? And behold. In other translations, it might say and when. Yeah, when. Many times it translates as, what is translates as and when. But we're going to stick to the translation we've got here, which is taken from the book. So, what is and behold. Qultum. Qultum. Exactly. See, over here it just said, you said. But I want the proper word. I want the proper translation. And sister has written it, and she's a non-Arab. Yeah? Fantastic. Arab sister has written it as well. Come on, boys. Anybody else? Okay. Look at your table. قال, قالوا, قلت, قلتم. What's قلتم? It's plural, isn't it? You all. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So it's really you all said. But in this translation, it's just going to say you said. Right? Because it's maybe because the person who's translating it, he has to translate it in a way that is understandable in English, meaning it's written in English. It's got to be correct according to the English rules. So, and behold, you all said, right? Some people might say that, but others might say, no, you're just going to put you said, right? So there's a rendering that's done. It's not just literal translated, because sometimes literal translations, word to word, it won't make sense in English. It won't make grammatical sense, and it won't be a correct structure. So you have to make it right in English, right? And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward the translators who have done that. They've done a fantastic job. And each translator has his own, his own way of translating it. One will say, no, it's got to be strict, and I'm going to put brackets in so you know what it's meaning. Others will say, no, I'm going to have to make it sound and flow right. It's got to be understandable in English, so I'm going to like that. So they've done that, right? That's why you get different translations, right? Okay, so what is qultum, and behold, you all said, O Musa. So the ya means O. Like we say, Ya Allah, O Allah, right? You all said, O Musa. Okay, happy so far? وقالوا. Okay, look at your table. Look at your table. وقالوا. Remember the wow. Whenever you see a wow and an alif at the end, it's plural. So you got to know what you got to know what qala means. Qala means to say. So وقالوا meant and they all said. Fantastic. Sister, oh, hope you guys know that. They all said. That's right. That's right. And they all said. And they all said. Good. Right. Yeah. Right. And they all said. Right, so and they all said, okay, so that's in the table, and this is showing you how many times it's coming in the Quran, right? So you've got to learn these, especially look at the ones that have the biggest numbers next to them. Prioritize them if you can't learn all the table. If it's difficult learning all the table, just learn qala and qalu. That's most of the table. Qala, qalu. Qala, he said, qalu, they all said. Right? Right. Sami'na. Okay, so sami'na. Right? Heroes is good try. Fantastic. We, not we here. Which tense are we doing so far? Exactly. Which tense are we doing so far? The person who wrote, good. Right, so we heard. Sami'a means to hear. Sami'na, we all heard. Right? Exactly, past tense, right? So, and they said, we heard. Wa'ata'na, right? Wa'ata'na, we've not done yet. Wa'ata'na. It'at, what does it'at mean in Urdu? For those people, I think maybe there might be quite a lot of people who speak Urdu here. It'at, yeah? Ati'ullaha. What's ati'ullaha mean? Obey, right? Right? So wa'ata'na means and we obeyed. So, and they said, we all heard and we all obeyed. That's like the literal one. Over here, just we heard and obeyed. To hear is sami'a. Sami'a. Sami'a means, or what? How do you say we hear? We'll learn that maybe in 2 lessons time, maybe next week, right? I don't want to mention it now because I just want this to sit in your head first, right? So, are we happy with this? وقالوا, and what do you call it? They all said, سمعنا, we all heard, وأطعنا, and we all obeyed. Yeah, obeyed because na is past tense. Yeah, are you happy with that? So we can go over these word to word after the lesson, and just the more you go over it, the more it starts sitting in. The more it sits in, it starts becoming real time. Then when the Imam says it, you're going to say, "Oh, I know what that means." More practice. Just need more practice. But the formula, the structures are all in, this course, inshallah, for the most important things. You don't learn everything. There's many other things to learn, but you're learning the things that occur most frequently, the structure patterns that occur most frequently. That's why those tables are condensed. They're not the full-blown table. Full-blown table is, anybody tell me? What level? That's right, level 2. Level 3 is even different. Level 3 is even more. Level 3, you're going to learn other things. Yeah? So level 2 is the one. Some people in this course have done level 2. And I'm hoping you're finding this one more digestible. The level 2 one is for beginners as well, but it moves at a quick pace and you have to learn a lot every week. This is cut down and just teaching you the sort of bare essentials. And level 2 expands on it. Right. Next one. That's the other font. Yes, it should be a prerequisite for level 2. Yes, that's what I'm going to put as well. That you don't do level 2. I'm going to call it level 2. So you do level 1 first. Yeah. Right. Next one. What is? So what did what is mean? See what it's got here. And behold. Okay, it's got and behold here, so we'll keep to and behold. I've got a feeling most translations might actually say and when. Okay, but I might be wrong. But and when is used many times for what is. But we'll just keep with and behold. And behold. Qulna. Okay. Qulna. Fantastic. More people. Qulna. Good. Good. We said. And now this we, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses, the plural for himself, right? It's like, like in English, we sort of, the Queen will say, we did this, we did that, yeah? But she's talking about herself, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala obviously is different, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses we for himself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also uses me for himself as well, yeah? But he also uses we, right? So, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا, and behold, we said, okay, we said, lil malaikati. So here, malaikati is, what is malaikati? Okay, you've translated for the angels. If you understood for, this li means for the angels, you're going to know that that doesn't make sense. So you're going to like know yourself that, okay, when we said to the angels, right? See, these prepositions have many meanings. I've given you sort of the one that's mostly used, like for belonging to. So over here, to the angels, okay? And behold, we said to the angels. So in English, you call it the royal we, the royal. So, and when we said to the angels, okay, this judu, this judu. I didn't even put this translation even in there, right? It should be in there. However, guess what? What word can you see in there that looks familiar? Seen, Jim, Dal. Exactly. You can see sajada. You can see sujud, sajda. You can see those three letters, right? Sajada, right? So it's got so much to do with prostration. And do, that's got plural, right? That's a plural. But this is a command form. It's really usjudu. It's not, that's, if you said the word by itself, that would be a dhamma. Usjudu. But it's what's going on is you're joining it with the previous word as hamdatul wasl. What happens? It becomes disjudu. Disjudu means you all bow. Okay. So, and when and behold, we said to the angels, all of you bow, right? Do sajda, right? So this isn't past tense verb. This is a command verb. Usjudu, you all do sajda. Again, level 2, right? Talk about advertising your own, right? Right, next one. And to be from the disbelievers. All right, okay, you've done, mashallah, you've done the translation. So wakana, yes, and he was, yeah, good. From the disbelievers. Was the S of disbelievers? What is the S in disbelievers there? Exactly. The ENA. Remember lesson 2 or lesson 3? The ENA, right? So you've got to go back. You've got to, your things that you're coming to hear is going to involve you jumping different sections to remember what we learned there. Oh, yes, we did that in lesson 2. Oh, we did that in lesson 3. It's all of it now. It's mixing, right? You need to learn them all. Go over the tables again. After the course, go over the table again. And what I advise is after the course is done, don't put your books away and say, next time we do the course, we'll do it again. Open, do it. Of course, do that. You're free to do the course, inshallah, whenever you want to do it. But open this booklet and just go over it. And one way you can go over it is teach your kids, teach your spouse, teach your family, teach your mother, teach your father, teach your friends. Yeah, so look, this is what we did. Look, and when you start teaching it, even if it's just to your family, to your kid, once you start teaching it, it's going to start sinking in more. It's going to start sitting in. Yeah, right. So, and he was, wakana, and he was, because kana means to be. So in a sentence, kana means he was. And he was min from al-kafirina, the disbelievers. Next one, la. We've not done la yet, I think. Lam with an alif. La, right? No. Yeah, meaning there is no. Okay, ilaha, we've done ilaha. Ilaha means, translating here as God. Okay, la ilaha, no God. Right, and ilah is translated as one worthy of worship, right? So no God, illa, Illa, I don't know if we've done illa yet. Illa means except, right? Translate here as but, which is similar to except. Anta. What is anta? We've done anta. You. Okay. Yeah. Subhanaka. We've not done subhanaka, right? Subhana, glory, perfection, so perfect. Ka. What's ka mean? Yeah. Okay. You. You. So glory be to you. Subhanaka. Masculine terminology. Subhanaka. Glory be to you. Inni. What's inni? What two words is inni? It's inna and a ya. So it's not just indeed. Inni. Good, fantastic, right? Indeed, I. Surely, I. Okay, so inna means indeed, and the ya means me. Surely, me. Okay, surely, I. Inni kuntu. Look at kuntu. Kuntu is kana, from kana. Look at it in the table. Kana. The tu means me. I did that verb. You just got to know what kana means. I did that verb. The tu means I did. Yeah. So you just got to know what kun means. Kuntu. Have a look at your table. Kana. It's the kana one. Not I have. I was. I was. Inni, surely I. I was. Kuntu. I was. Yeah. Is everybody happy with I was? It's in your table. Second table. I was. Min. From. Yeah. From. And because we're joining it onto this, it's going to become mina. Mina dhalimina. Surely I was from, sure, indeed, yeah, indeed I was from the wrongdoers. Yeah, the oppressors, the wrongdoers, right? Zalama is when somebody puts something in other than its correct place. So when somebody does zalama, he is putting something in other than its correct place. So he's oppressing, he shouldn't be oppressing. Yeah, he's doing something wrong. He shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be doing that thing that he's doing, putting it in the wrong place. Yeah, so zalama is that. So wrongdoer. When he doesn't put things in the right place, he's doing wrong. Right. Next. So this is the other font. There's actually a Turkish font as well. A Turkish font Quran. And also Bengali font Quran as well. The Bengali one's similar to this, very similar. The Turkish one looks a bit different. Again, it's just font. This might be the last one, the last page. Kanu. Tell me Kanu. Have a look at your tables. Kanu. Remember, the wow and that little alif there is plural. You just got to know what Ghana means. You got to know that Kanu came from Ghana. So it's okay, good. More people? More people? Good. Yeah, good. Even more clearer. So they were is fine, but for more detail, they all were. Yeah. Not you are Muslims. Not you are Muslims. Yeah. Kana is the verb that means to be. So Kanu, they all were. Yeah. They all were. That's in your table. The Ghana table. Yeah. They all were. Muslimina. Should know what Muslimina is? Muslims. Why Muslims? Was a s in there. Ina, fantastic, right? So Kanu Muslimina. They all were Muslims. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, another Kanu, right? Another Kanu. I know the kaf looks different, but it's written, yeah, it's written like that as well. So Kanu, They all were. Okay, they all were. Qabla, we've done qabla. Qabla is Urdu word as well. Qabl, before. So they all were before dhalika, that. So qabla dhalika, like, goes together. Qabla dhalika means before that. Ba'da dhalika means after that. So kanu, they all were. Qabla dhalika, before that. Muhsinin, muhsinin, muhsinin. A new word. Anybody know what Hasan means? Hasan. Ha-sa-na. Hasan means good, right? Hasan. We get Hasin from. I think even Hasina is a name, a girl's name. Yeah. Right. And Muhsin is the one who does good. Muhsin is the one who does Hasana. Hasan, good. So Muhsinin is the ones who do good. So doers of good. So Hasana, you can see the root word is in there. Original. So they all were, قبل ذلك, before that, muhsinin, doers of good. Happy to move on? I think we'll be finished, inshallah, for about 10 past 9, inshallah. Qalu. Okay, so qalu. Look, it's the same as kanu, similar pattern. The same pattern, actually. But it's the verb qala. So qalu, if kanu means they all were, qalu is they all. Now you just need to know what qala means. They all. The waw and the alif is they all. You just got to know what qala means. Good. They all said. They all said. Remember? Qala, qalu. Right? They all said subhana. They all said subhana. Glory. Right? Glory. Okay, glory. Rabbina. Subhana Rabbina. Our Lord. So glory be to our Lord. Okay, our sustainer here, right? Glory be to our sustainer. I'm just going to say it as it is in the translation, right? Glory to be to our sustainer. In other words, you may see, in other translations, you may see Lord, but I'm just gonna keep with the translation here, right? So glory be to Rabbina, our Lord. Inna. Inna means indeed, and na is we. Inna, indeed we. Kunna. What's kunna mean? Today's lesson. We were, right? We were. Zalimina. Zalimina. Yeah. Zalimina. Wrongdoers. Right? So remember when I told you, it can either be, you're going to see plural is either going to be zalimuna or zalimina, yeah? So any one of them you'll know it's plural. But over here, with the grammar, it fits to say zalimina. The grammar, something coming before it is going to dictate that one becomes ina instead of una, right? You don't have to worry about that for now. Some of that you can get in lesson 2, level 2. Inshallah. Right, okay. Maybe the last verse. Yeah, I think so. So, wakana, 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 and he was. Fantastic. And he was. And he was. Allahu. So, and Allah was. Right? And Allah has been. We'll just keep the translation. And Allah has been. Right? You won't know. See, what kana means, and he was, right? And how do you know Allah is the one who has been? That's level 2, right? Actually, this particular one is level 3, right? So for now, just wa kana Allahu, and Allah has been ghafuran, ghafuran, maghfira, yeah, maghfira, ghafara, right? Means to forgive. So وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا, forgiving, rahiman, rahima means mercy, doesn't it? So rahiman, merciful. Okay, so kana is mentioned here, qalu is mentioned here, kanu is here, kunna is here, showing you that it comes in the Quran. So definitely learn those words. See the font? And that's it. Can you believe it? It's 9 o'clock and we're gonna inshallah go finish early today. We just got to do these words, go over the homework, and job done. So maximum 10 minutes. So let's look at it. More root words, because root words is what it's all about, right? Root words is where everything comes from. Yeah. So let's look at this week's root words. Ghafara yaghfiru means he forgave, he forgives. So the verb is for, we just write to forgive. Okay. So ghafara yaghfiru is to forgive. The verb for to forgive. 234 times. So we've seen one of those in here. Ghafuran. Ghafuran. Yeah. Ghafara. It's there. Okay. So in its different forms, it'll come about 234 times. Next one, look at this. Qala yaqulu, 1722. 1722 different permutations. Qala and yaqulu. He said, he says. Okay. He said, he says. And to say is the verb. Dhakara yadhkuru. He remembered, he remembers. Okay, so to remember. That's the verb for to remember. 292. That's where we get dhikr from, dhikr of Allah. Yeah, from dhakara. Allahumma ghfir lana. Ghafara. That's what that is. Okay, next one. Akhadha ya'khudhu. 273 means to take. Akhadha ya'khudhu. So we can see this is regular. This one is irregular. This one is regular. This one is irregular. This one is also irregular. Amara ya'muru is the verb for command. He commanded, he commands. Wa'mur bil ma'ruf. Yeah, wa'mur bil ma'ruf, that's the verb. 248 times. Hasiba yahsabu, to think. Hasiba yahsabu, to think. La tahsabanna alladhina qutilu fi sabilillahi amwata. Do not think people who have been killed in the way of Allah as dead. Yeah, hasiba, to think. And even in Urdu we say hisab. What you're doing when you're doing hisab, you're thinking. Yeah, when you're accounting, you're thinking. Hayya yahya. Hayya yahya, to live. Hayatud dunya. Hayatud dunya, the life of the world, right? To live. Hayya yahya. 184. Mata yamutu. Mata yamutu. We say maut for death. Yeah, maut. ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Right? Die. The word's got the word die in there. And do not die. Right? And do not die except in the state of Islam as Muslim. Kafara yakfuru, 525 times. Kafara, that's where we get kafir from. Kuffar, kafirun, yakfurun. Yeah, that's where we get those words from. Kafara yakfuru, to disbelieve, to be ungrateful, to hide. Next one, nasara yansuru. Nasara yansuru, to help. Nasrullahi wal fath, help of Allah, right? In the Quran. And nasir, nasir, Yeah, they come from there. Nasir means helper. Ansar, who are the Ansar? They were the helpers of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah, Ansar from this word. Nasara yansuru. Nasir is the one who helps. Right. Next one, nazala yanzilu. Nazala means to asghar. Okay. Nazala yanzilu means to descend. Yeah. Nuzul. Yeah. And even in Urdu, for those who understand Urdu, because I try to connect people with a language if it connects with them, right? What happens when you've got a nazala? What's nazala? It's like runny nose, right? What happens? What's happening with the runny nose? It's coming down, right? It's maybe from there. It's maybe, I think it's from there, right? Nazala means to descend. Yeah, nazala is a flu. What's happening in the flu? Your nose is coming down, right? Right? Runny nose. Huh? Well, I'm talking about, yeah, the rain, you call that barish, right? But okay, I'll leave it. Right? So look, inna, look, inna anzalnahu fi lailatul qadr. We sent it down. Yeah, right? In the night of Laylatul Qadr. Right? So nazala means to descend. And the last one, wajada. Wajada means to find, a weak verb. Wajada and yajidu means to find. Yeah. So these are root words that you try to learn. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. They're coming everywhere. Especially qala. Look at qala. Right? So yeah, you've got a job to do, which is learn the vocabulary. And the good thing in the teasers, just want to mention one thing. For level 2, the vocabulary is exactly the same, right? You have other things on your head to learn, but the vocabulary for level 2 is exactly the same. So that's sort of a good sort of thing that you don't have to, if you've done this level 1, then when level 2 comes, yeah, inshallah, you don't have to learn a new vocabulary. Right. That's all I think for today. Lastly, how can you tell if a verb is weak? So you need to know how you can tell a verb is weak. You need to look at your notes, get the answer to that. Write the past tense verb table for qala and kana. So basically just copy the table that's in your booklet. Yeah. Learn the past tense verbs table just written, right? Just learn it. And the endings are the same. You just got to learn the adjustment and it's all done. Learn all the words in the vocabulary list. Right. So think easiest lesson. Would you say that was an easiest lesson? Easiest lesson? If you did last week's work? Good. There's going to be another lesson like this, an easy-ish lesson, okay, in one of the remaining lessons. So it's like a breather. Short and sweet, yeah, okay. Right, I think that's it. So anybody's got any questions, quick ones, can maybe do it here. If not, you can just always ask in the Telegram group. Barakallahu feekum. Okay, I think we'll end it there, inshallah. Okay, jazakallah khair, jazakumullahu khairan. So I said jazakumullahu khairan, okay? Jazakum. May Allah reward you all. Not just jazakallah khair now. Jazakallah khair means may Allah reward you, brother. Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah reward you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.